After just 2 races with Red Bull, the team has made the shocking decision to send Liam Lawson back to Racing Bulls, opting instead to promote Yuki, the very driver it had dismissed in favor of the New Zealander just months ago. This abrupt shift follows the dramatic departure of Sergio Perez, who was paid off by the team to make way for new blood. But now, in an unexpected twist, Max Verstappen has publicly sided with Lawson, backing a message that accuses Red Bull of coming perilously close to bullying, or a panic move by dropping the rookie after such a brief stint in the cockpit. Verstappen, who had already been reported as frustrated with the decision to replace Lawson with Yuki for the upcoming Japanese Grand Prix, has made his stance clear, raising doubts about Red Bull's direction. The situation, filled with sudden changes and uneasy decisions, has led many to wonder, is man's patience running out? Could the team's turbulent actions push the reigning champion to walk away? The signs are undeniably unsettling, and the future of this once unstoppable partnership is now hanging in the balance. After a disappointing result at the Chinese Grand Prix, where he ended up a distant 4th, the 4-time world champion was asked about his future. With a smooth response, he sidestepped the question, ensuring there were no headlines screaming, "Verstappen ready to quit Red Bull." Verstappen currently holds 2nd place in the driver standings, just 8 points behind Lando Norris. However, following his dominant performance in 2023, the once dominant Red Bull team is now facing challenges and far from its peak form. The decline at Red Bull can be traced back to 2023, when an upgrade to the car's underbody at the Spanish Grand Prix made it clear that Sergio Perez was unable to drive the RB19 as comfortably as Max Verstappen could. Despite this, Verstappen's historic run of breaking records in what was one of the greatest individual seasons in any sport overshadowed the issue. Red Bull chose to overlook it. When Perez made a strong start to 2024, securing 4 podiums in the first 5 races, it seemed all was well. However, Perez's performance soon plummeted, and matters worsened when Adrian Newey, the technical genius who had been with Red Bull for 19 years, handed in his resignation. To make matters worse, a power struggle erupted within the team early in 2024, fueled by allegations surrounding team principal Christian Horner, allegations he vehemently denied. The damage, however, had already begun to take hold. During the Bahrain and Saudi Arabian races, a clash of words broke out between Christian Horner and Red Bull leaders Oliver Mintzlaff and Helmut Marko. However, Horner had a key ally in Chalerm Uvidia, the Thai co-owner of Red Bull, who holds 51% of the company's shares. Eventually, they called a truce, but the tension was still there, with winning temporarily covering up the deeper issues. Verstappen had a strong start, winning 7 of the first 10 races as the RB20 left everyone behind. But by mid-season, things started to slip, and small signs of trouble appeared. Red Bull, known for its flawless pit stops and strategy, began to make mistakes as the chaos within the team's driver situation started to catch up with them. Soon after the announcement that Lawson would be replaced, Verstappen seemed to hint that he wasn't happy with how the team handled the situation. He liked an Instagram post by former driver Guido van der Garde, who criticized Red Bull's treatment of Lawson, calling it closer to bullying or a panic move, and claiming they gave Liam only 2 races before crushing his spirit. Yes, you gotta perform. Yes, the pressure is insane. But in my opinion, this comes closer to bullying or a panic move than actual high athlete achievements. They made a decision, fully aware, gave Liam 2 races only to crush his spirit. Yes, he underperformed the first 2 races, but if anyone's aware of that, it's himself. Perhaps he has suggested this himself, but if not, I wish Liam all the strength and courage to get to the grid in Japan. Trust yourself. Get your head up. Prove them wrong, Liam. Last year, Mercedes made it clear they were eager to sign Max, and there were also rumors linking him to a potential move to Aston Martin, a team with big ambitions and plenty of financial backing. Verstappen's frustration with how the season has unfolded so far, along with his apparent approval of the word panic, might signal to other teams that there's a potential opportunity to pursue the Dutch driver once again. Red Bull's decision to drop Lawson, while not the first time they've made a bold move to replace an underperforming driver, was especially harsh by their usual standards. This move sent a clear message that Red Bull is fully focused on competing for the Formula One Constructors' Championship. As a result, Lawson will return to drive for Racing Bulls for the remainder of the season. Former Formula One driver Robert Dornbos has boldly claimed that he believes Max has secretly said goodbye to Red Bull. Verstappen's title defense has gotten off to a tough start, with Red Bull struggling to develop a car that has multiple issues and lags behind McLaren. Despite these challenges, the reigning F1 champion remains second in the drivers' standings, just 8 points behind Lando Norris, thanks to some impressive results from Verstappen. Given this whole situation, Max Verstappen is a little too relaxed. I think Max has already secretly said goodbye to the team. Among the top 4 teams, Red Bull seems to have the weakest package, or at least the most to catch up on, compared to McLaren. In terms of raw pace, they were noticeably slower than McLaren again at the Shanghai International Circuit. Dornbos believes Verstappen did everything he could with the RB21, given its current level of performance. It was exactly the same again in China. The maximum he could achieve was the podium in the sprint and 4th place in the race. At the end of 2024, Lawson was promoted to replace Perez, who had consistently underperformed for Red Bull. Despite Verstappen winning the driver's title, the team finished 3rd behind McLaren and Ferrari last season. Red Bull had hoped Lawson would provide better support for Verstappen, but his first 2 races of the season were disappointing, as he failed to score points in Australia and China. After the race in Shanghai, his future with the team was thrown into uncertainty, and by Thursday morning, Red Bull had replaced him with Yuki, the Japanese driver who has been with Red Bull's sister team since 2021. It has been difficult to see Liam struggle with the RB21 at the first 2 races, and as a result, we have collectively taken the decision to make an early switch. We came into the 2025 season with 2 ambitions: to retain the World Drivers' Championship and to reclaim the World Constructors' title. And this is a purely sporting decision. We acknowledge there is a lot of work to be done with the RB21, and Yuki's experience will prove highly beneficial in helping to develop the current car. Yuki will make his debut with Red Bull at his home Grand Prix at Suzuka next week. He was frustrated not to be moved up to the senior team after last season, given he had far more experience than Lawson, with 89 races now under his belt. However, Red Bull now believe his ability to help develop this year's car could be invaluable, with the team having major steps to make to bring it up to pace to match McLaren, who lead the field this season. It's clear that Red Bull is in a tough spot, with big decisions and even bigger implications for both their drivers and the team's future. Max Verstappen's frustration is growing, and the sudden moves with Liam and Yuki have many wondering about Red Bull's direction. Do you think Max will stick it out with the team? Or could we see a shock move away from the energy drink giants in the near future? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear your opinion. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more F1 updates.